Going live. Mic check 1 2. It's funny. Look, forget the intro. I'm so in the kid mode. Like, oh, live video. I do. Happy now. Now is a vibrate, of course. Going too far in the future. We not going too far in the past. We're gonna stay right here, right now, because that's where we create everything. This space of now. Hey, Mika. Peace, Thomas Grant. Blessings, y'all. I'm if y'all familiar with the way I do this vibe, or at least the way I'm uh, looking to do my live videos, I'm gonna mostly go with the information. I kind of look up every now and then and check the messages. But this video is entitled "Powerful Shamans and Love Buddies." Dealing with the crystal combinations. Of course, I'm talking about two different crystal combinations. The first one is emerald and ruby for dealing with love and abundance. Like those two are a great combination for love and abundance. And then I got malachite and black obsidian as the powerful shamans. Those two are good for deep shadow work and deep transformational spiritual work. That's why I look the shaman, you know what I'm saying? The malachite and black obsidian, which that combination too could also be intense, which you would want to use rose quartz if that combination would feel too intense for you. But I'm gonna go speaking on some of the characteristics of each of the crystals, how they work for me, how I work with them, all that good stuff. Then also, but this one I won't go in depth in. Maybe I'll do another video about it, you know, in depth. But just to bring it up, while I'm in this video, like a great, I caught the download of a great crystal combination for empaths. One of many, because it's more than just this combination, but this one was one that I was like, oh yeah, that's a strong turquoise and red jasper. That one to give I say empaths, people sensitive to energy. It will give you the courage to speak up and set boundaries. You know what I'm saying? That root chakra with the red jasper, turquoise got you up here. You're gonna speak and set those boundaries. But I digress. I want to speak about emerald and ruby first. Now again, this is like you looking for that fullness of love in relationships, love of life, love in relationships, just love on all levels. As a matter of fact, and what's funny how I said you can use rose quartz to ease the energy of malachite and black obsidian. You can use rose quartz to amplify the love in the emerald and ruby combination. But it's definitely promotes a strong vibration of abundance. The ruby implements that passion, that fiery, just zeal and love for life, and also emerald kind of has that like love of life, feeling joyous. Matter of fact, kind of works in that solar plexus area a little bit. Matter of fact, just to speak on a few characteristics, emerald gives clarity, broad vision, helps with memory, improves eyesight, and which I'll get into that too, because emerald and ruby both have aluminum in it. But oh no, not the aluminum I'm talking about though. I want to say with emerald though, it's the beryllium is what promotes all the clarity, broad vision. Because matter of fact, because beryllium itself helps with allergies, but it helps with far-seeing perspective, clear perception, concentration, and discipline. So those aspects of beryllium is what's in emerald, helping with the broad vision, improve eyesight, the memory, and the clarity. You know, but also, so with the love and relationships vibe with emerald improves cooperation in groups. Matter of fact, of course, two people not considered a group in essence, but in a relationship, it's more than one person. It's a group, so it creates a certain cohesiveness and cooperation. And matter of fact, in essence, through the vibes of mutual understanding, because it also promotes a vibration of mutual understanding, where you could be Catholic over here, You could be a Jehovah's Witness. This person over here could be comedic. Now, of course, on a human level, those vibes, of course, probably clash. But, Emerald would help, So, say, for instance, if it's a bunch of open-minded people with different aspects of, or different walks of life that they walk, they would kind of have a mutual understanding between each other. Emerald would help promote that. You know what I'm saying? Well, we would, be able to meet each other on the common grounds. Because I mean, jokingly so, like a Muslim and the Jehovah's Witnesses, on a religious level, they way, worlds apart. But they both got eyes and legs. They could start somewhere as far as like a connection. You know what I'm saying? Like they both they both like to preach. They could start right there. As a Jehovah and the mother. You know what I'm saying? But like different, walks of life, creating cooperation or just that mutual understanding. You know what I'm saying? Between each other. But again, you could find common ground. Start in the smallest places. I mean, that's why I like on another level too, music transcending everything, connecting us. Because music is vibrations, the universe is vibrations. That's why it transcends everything. I digress. Also, the emerald promotes like a mental youth. Like basically, like emerald promotes this. Again, that solar plexus Leo energy, that Leo joy, childlike vibe. You know what I'm saying? So emerald kind of keeps you in that vibe of not taking life too serious, to just enjoy it. And not be all stern, and you know what I'm saying, like having a go with the flow type of vibe with the energy. I'm gonna stop to holler at y'all for a second. Blessings, y'all. Sandy, Lucid, blah. Grand Rising, Unique Daniels. Follow my Instagram page, Epic Lifestyles. And I currently don't have jewelry at the moment, but that's where you go to see the latest posts, and on my latest post to show what I have in stock. Oh damn, J Star done answered that question already. Never mind. Shout out to the fam, to the chat room for y'all, being on the vibe. I would talk about rubellite and pink tourmaline if I was extremely familiarized with it in this moment, but because I'm not, I'm not able to speak on it. Yeah, rubellite and pink tourmaline do have like a close relation. That's one thing I can remember about it. But as far as the aspects of them, you know. But back to the emerald promoting that childlike vibe. So again, cooperation and groups and mutual understanding, that all helps to promote that love and relationship vibe. And again, emerald and ruby also, if you're doing like a love spell, or you're trying to visualize love and relationships, or you're just trying to amplify love and relationships, or attracting love on some type of level, the emerald and ruby, by itself, of course, but then also add lodestone to it, or magnetite or lodestone, however you may refer to it. But add that to the emerald and ruby combination. That's gonna be extremely strong and powerful. And then the lodestone kind of gonna ground, not only magnetizing that energy of bringing it to you, but grounding it into the physical in order for it to manifest. You know what I'm saying? So the lodestone definitely great on that level. Now with the ruby deals with passion, driving force, courageous, being active, spontaneous, and that fact promotes joyfulness in social situations. You know what I'm saying? So be in that light place. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you because again, we're dealing with relationships or promoting that love. being joyful in social situations. If you might come across, that your spouse or whatever, or that person, that you want to deal with, on a relationship level, you gotta be joyful. And so, you never know if you're gonna meet that person. So you need to be joyful in social situations, have that passion and driving force, that courage to step up to that person and say, blessings, blessings, Queen. You are your sacred geometry is extremely beautiful, and the soul within that temple, I'm pretty sure, has the same beauty as that. It's the sacred giant, you know what I'm saying? Trying to make up some new age game, you know what I'm saying? But the ruby is that driving force, and that gives you that courageousness, you know. And also, ruby stimulates sexual activity, you know what I'm saying? So hey, go straight to the point in that area as well. And it also promotes the energy of life loving, you know what I'm saying? So again, just enjoying life, having that certain passion. And ruby works with the root chakra and the heart chakra, and emerald, works with, I would say, like the heart chakra and the solar plexus, a little bit of that third eye as well, because emerald does promote clairvoyance and basically like insight, like from higher self, or from the ancestor spirit guides. Emerald does have a little bit of that vibe in it as well. And before I go to malachite and obsidian, I want to speak on aluminum and its properties, because matter of fact, ruby and emerald both have aluminum. Now, of course, and as I'm speaking on this, certain everything in moderation. Because when I think about like some of the videos where I speak on, like with the vibe of how aluminum and steel could mess up the plasma implosion of our torus field, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like certain things in its natural state, like so a man-made aluminum, in essence is gonna be, extremely harmful. But just the natural aluminum, it has a still a beneficial vibration to it in essence, But the aluminum helps calm nervousness. It helps with expressing the feelings. It helps one to align with soul purpose. So basically, like finding your soul identity. Like how we trying to find ourselves or find out what's our true meaning in life, or what our purpose is. What we, aluminum helps with that vibration, and also aluminum brings a sense of alertness and reality. And I would say that would be in ruby with that, that grounding sense of alertness and reality. Matter of fact, just being grounded in your physical being, in essence, dealing with a little bit of that root chakra energy, in essence. That's it for the characteristics of those two. Just a few, that's something. And of course, again, the emerald and ruby, love and relationships and abundance. You know, manifesting abundance. Because as a matter of fact, on the abundance level, because I didn't speak too much to that, the love of life, love of living, and being passionate about life. In order to manifest, you gotta feel good, you gotta love what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? So that those loving vibrations from the emerald and ruby, and then the ruby having that a little bit of that root chakra energy, which is gonna provide you with that vitality, that fire, you know what I'm saying, to take care of things and get things done, and be passionate about what you do. Because when you're passionate about what you do and you love what you do, that's where the abundance comes. It's doing what you love. Do what you love, and the money will follow. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna help you to, fall into that mode of doing what you love, at a high pace. All right. Before I move into the obsidian and this other piece, checking out. Happy now, blessings, y'all. Carlene, Larry, Moon, Life Party 4, HTHTV, Tiffany Jones, Queen Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman, that's fire. Monique, Pamela Hayward, Melissa, blessings, y'all. Blessings. Thank y'all for coming through. Get that hat straight. And next, I'm gonna speak about the powerful shamans. You know, these crystals are great for transformational growth. You know, and just what stands out about them in this area before I get into the other little characteristics about them is that they are both strong at bringing forth that shadow self, bringing forth those unwanted qualities, you know, bringing them up to the light, you know, for you to see them. But now at the same time, that's why they also are crystals where, you know, they're considered to be more for more advanced users, because sometimes it could be overwhelming to deal with your shadows all at once. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the whole basis of what malachite and obsidian do by bringing these things up to the light is basically by, you know, by knowing you got to know you have a problem in order to fix it. You know what I'm saying? When we just in our day, especially if you're not meditating and you just all that noise from your conscious mind, you're never gonna really be able to assess, you know, the shadows that's really keeping you down or bothering you or hindering you, because you always got this little inner noise going on, you know, just all kind of actions and stuff like that. But with the obsidian malachite, it brings it up to the forefront in a way that's unignorable. Like, you know, obsidian malachite gonna show you your shadow in a way where you gonna see it. Like it's not like where you work with some crystals and it's like the energies of it is subtle. Like where, you know, if I hold a rose quartz, you know, you won't. As soon as you hold it, everybody just won't. Oh, I love you. You know, like that vibe. You know, or you won't, or it won't be as visible compared to like when you work with malachite obsidian, especially obsidian. Like you start working with obsidian, you're gonna start seeing your shadow self, or just seeing the light being shined in that area, like almost as soon as you start working with it, you know. But again, it's knowing the problem to fix it. You know, if you don't acknowledge, in fact, hi, my name is Universal and I'm an alcoholic. You know, like no, I'm not an alcoholic, but anyway. Like the reason why, you know, the AA meetings start off like that is in essence to say, hey, I admit that I have this problem. So let's start from there. You know, let's acknowledge the problem, and now, you know, and the whole aspect of, you know, knowing the problem is there so you can fix it, and also like the alchemy of it, you know, in the symbology of the shadow, like it's basically by acknowledging your shadow with love. The love is like the light, you know what I'm saying? And when you ever shine a light on a shadow, you know, it ceases to exist whenever you shine a light on your shadow, you know what I'm saying? It's no longer there, you know. So it's just about shedding that light, or the love, you know, or loving that shadow, which the love serves as the light, you know, like not hating yourself behind your shadow self. Your shadow self, it is what it is, you know, it's to integrate it within your being, you know what I'm saying? Because your shadow self could, you know, everything has its use in the proper times, you know. Like say for instance, it might be a certain time where it's good for me to procrastinate, in the essence of like just being, you know, that shadow part of me that would want to just take things slow, you know, on that type of level. Of course, it ain't something that, you know, I would want to do a lot, but just in the essence of, you know, embracing that shadow self, you know. Like if you gotta, again, we don't uh we don't want to walk around in fear all the time, or, you know, at all, you know, in the essence of just being occupied by fear. But ain't nothing wrong if, you know, you have some type of fear towards something, or, you know, or something like any little shadow aspect of yourself. It's just about loving it. But to the malachite and obsidian, the malachite, it's not just a shaman for, you know, shining the light on the shadows. Just also both of them kind of has a vibe of bringing, you know, ancient knowledge to you. You know, matter of fact, obsidian is kind of like the stone known as the prophecy stone or the wizard stone, but it is a stone of bringing in prophetic like insights. You know what I'm saying? Like So kind of like on some see the future type of vibes. You know, obsidian helps with that. You know, it promotes that prophetic insight. You know, and then the malachite helps awaken the desire for knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with that desire of knowledge, you could get into these occult and esoteric, you know, concepts, information, you know, and deepen your knowledge and help, you know, raise your soul up by being more knowledgeable about your spiritual journey and your spiritual growth. Malachite also promotes the vibration of taking risks and being adventurous. You know, that taking risk vibe. You know, you gotta take risks in a lot of areas in order to spiritually grow. You know, again that shaman vibe of, you know, gotta change things. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta grow to see a different, you know, different aspect of life, and that involves, you know, taking risks, and also with the adventurous vibe, you know, not staying in one place. Normally when we're staying in one place and not taking risks, you know, think about that vibration. It's not down talking about it, but just the essence of, you know, looking at the example of it. You know, people who are scared to take risks and aren't adventurous, you know, where do you see those people working at? What kind of occupation you see those people with? Again, I'm not. I had to laugh because my human self just had to, you know, laugh at that. But you know, it speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? Taking risks and being adventurous. You know, traveling the world. You know, it takes that adventurous nature. You know, taking risks. You know, starting that online business with your last, you know, the last, and from a human aspect, say for instance, the illusion of the last dollar to our name, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, starting that business, or you know, making that jump to go to this area for the first time, or work a new event for the first time, or something, you know, again, do a group meditation for the first time, just expanding and taking risks on whatever level it could be, you know. But that helps for our soul to grow, because if we stand in one spot, always seeing the same things, and there's nothing new coming to us in order for us to learn from. You know, we just seeing the same old stuff all day, every day. Again, back to the analogy of us being that perfection, like we was perfect and it was just the same thing. It like, you know, like, oh, got the knowledge of everything, so it's nothing to learn, you know. It's nothing to do in essence. We was just perfect, you know. We just sit around and be perfect. You know what I'm saying? So see how, you know, coming into the physical with that vibe, you know. Also, malachite helps to absorb info quickly. You know what I'm saying? And I do feel that. I feel like when I'm studying a lot of things, it don't take much for me to grasp the information, and not just grasp it on some memory type of vibes to you know, learning in that aspect, but just like really truthfully grasp the, you know, the inner workings of the concepts and intellectualize certain information, you know, at a quick pace. You know, in essence, like some information that will probably take people longer times to, like, you know, really grasp and intellectualize the information. You know, it takes me a short amount of time. And also malachite promotes synchronicity. You know, synchronicity, having those what we call coincidences. And it also brings a and this is, you know, something that's very big, clarity in observing omens. You know what I'm saying? So basically malachite kind of allows for you to be in that conscious place of seeing that. So say for instance, I always use this analogy because it's just easy and quick. You know, the flat tire, because we all, you know, I always envision everybody cursing, like, fuck, I got a flat tire, you know what I'm saying, or mad or whatever. But like the malachite would give clarity to observing omens, so you would see that flat tire, you know, was an omen for you to. So say for instance, you get the flat tire, you're not tripping, then you get to a certain place and then realize that dang, you was right on time for they giving out free such and such, and if you wouldn't have caught that flat tire, you wouldn't have made it to the place, in that time. And you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. You get to have clarity and observe in the way the universe uniquely helps you to be in alignment with your soul purpose. And a lot of times it does things that our ego may not like, you know what I'm saying? And with our ego not liking it, and if we're not like consciously in tune within the source, we're gonna kind of be close to the vibe of the ego and seeing those situations as something bad, or we're not gonna be able to observe the omen of it. You know what I'm saying? Basically. And with obsidian is the stone of truth and prophecy. So it brings forth truth. And which though, I want to speak on that, and I'm gonna get into that a little more. Because I just heard blessings to the elder Phil Valentine. Matter of fact, if y'all not familiar with Dr. Phil Valentine, y'all definitely go look him up. Because if y'all think I'm saying something, of course I got my little places of having my own downloads. But, as far as like just, the ancient knowledge and everything, man, I learned a lot from Dr. Phil Valentine. But to speak to what he spoke on about, like, he was like, it's all about reality and not truth. Because he was like, matter of fact, it's like God is reality and not truth. And that guy was like, whoa, because I'm one to say, God is truth. And when he said that, that little inner ego of staying in that position of saying that was like, all right, kind of was gonna be standoffish, but then I was such in a soulful place that it's like, back off, fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, hit this out. But basically, like, cause say for instance, the Catholic Church was working to make the Jesus Christ story a truth. And if they would have made, got it to where everybody believed it, that would have became a truth in this reality. You know what I'm saying? So I see where it's like, all right, it's about the reality of things. What's the reality of things, and not necessarily the truth. You know what I'm saying? And that was a nice aha moment with that I got when I heard that, about it's more so about the reality, because somebody could manipulate anything to be the truth. You know what I'm saying? And that is very true. But back to the obsidian. The obsidian is again good for the truthful vibes, good for prophecy, and matter of fact with the truth, or bringing forward reality, in essence. But and just say truth for lack of a better word though, because I get what Phil Valentine's saying, but in essence, when I speak of the truth, I'm speaking of it in the meaning of, like, so say for instance, when I say the word truth, it's meaning reality in essence, you know what I'm saying? But I get what he's saying in the essence of the way words break down and what, the essence of what it really means. But I digress. Obsidian though is also good for spiritual invulnerability. So basically, you're not vulnerable. You're not as vulnerable spiritually. You're more stronger. And the reason why it keeps you from being vulnerable on a spiritual level is because it integrates you with your shadows. Those darker sides of yourself, and all the aspects of yourself are integrated. So you're becoming whole within your being. You know what I'm saying? And in that essence, you're not. So say for instance, like I find that you'll be more vulnerable spiritually if you're not embracing your shadows. Like if you just, hey, I'm on the, everything is all good all the time, just always on the light side, like the dark doesn't exist, then you're kind of vulnerable, because then since you don't acknowledge that other aspect of you, it could come and knock you off of your, you know what I'm saying? Because it will come, and it does exist, it's a part of you. So you'll be vulnerable when you're not embracing the fullness of your being, compared to being invulnerable, because you're embracing the fullness of everything, your shadow, like the whole aspects. Obsidian also helps to retrieve forgotten capabilities. You know, matter of fact, going into past life. So matter of fact, with shining a light on certain shadows, you know, you'll be able to, you know, you're integrating. So basically, you're adding something or integrating a piece of you back into you, and you'll have like certain gifts may open up, you know, by integrating your shadows into your being, you know. And also, Obsidian deals with past life regression too. I got an older video that speaks to using Obsidian for like going into the past lives and find out information, because a lot of our capabilities, you know, spiritual gifts and stuff like that could also come from our past lives. So Obsidian helps with retrieving the forgotten capabilities on that level, you know. And again, you just see how that Malachite and Obsidian, you know, the shamans, you know, powerful shamans, you know, basically good for deep shadow work and transformational growth. You know, again, and Obsidian helps one to also grow away from restricting beliefs and behaviors. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, in essence, what's stopping mostly everybody on the planet? You know what I'm saying? Restricting beliefs and behaviors. You know what I'm saying? So the Obsidian, you know, just helps with that feeling. So, you know, when we talk about, you know, again, the shaman, and when I speak to Malachite and Obsidian being powerful shamans, don't get it twisted. All crystals are like your shamans, you know what I'm saying? Whatever crystals that fact, again, you don't own none of your crystals. You don't own anything in this matrix, actually, you know what I'm saying? It's all you. You can't own yourself, you know. It's not my life. Like, you don't own life. You are life. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to possess things from this mind frame, this over masculine ego mind frame that you was taught, you know, to own everything. It's like, no, we work with crystals. As a matter of fact, in a lot of cases, you being taught by your crystal. Like, your crystal is telling, like, it's basically sunning you, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Sitting down, telling you to, you know, sit down, grasshopper. Let me teach you something. Let me learn you something. But Malachite and Obsidian, though, is just some strong, you know, very strong in these. Matter of fact, I can even show. You know, this one I'm wearing is my Malachite and Obsidian. And matter of fact, Malachite, Obsidian, and Lapis Lazuli. Whew. Talking about. Matter of fact, this is like the shaman vibe, because, you know, like, I feel like Malachite and Obsidian just always have you okay with the balance of duality, like, you know, to get out of the illusion of the duality and to bring the dual natures into, you know, again, because integrating the shadows, like, you know, the shadow selves was seen as like, oh, that's not me, or that's something I don't want to be a part of me, or that's something bad, like, I'm against that. You know, that's what your shadow is. So, and then collectively, you know, it becomes a collective shadow. But, you know, it's I think I forgot how I was gonna bring that in. It'll come back to me. But anyway, it's balancing out this, you know, because the Obsidian and the Malachite allows for you to, you know, integrate the light and the dark together. So instead of combating against your shadows, you're integrating with your shadows. You become a full whole being, and you could feel it. Like, you could feel the difference when, you know, you come across somebody, you know, and we're not judging nobody or saying going around judging people, or even, you know what I'm saying, it's just like being observant of the energies, you know, as you come across them, where, you know, people who embrace, you know, the fullness of, you know, shadow self, all that, you know, you could feel a stronger God energy coming off of them compared to people who feel like, you know, you have to be moralistically nice, you know, to be spiritual, and not, you know, and not really feeling like they got to integrate shadows or deal with that shadow self, you know what I'm saying? So that's a vibe to that as well. I'm gonna go further and checking, try to balance this situation out. I remember one time I got to looking at these comments and basically just fell out of doing my video, in essence. Have you worked with the jinn before? I mean, my own jinn. I am the jinn. You know, I am the genie. My philosopher's stone is the gin. You might. Oh, dang. Fire department. Excuse people going out and helping people from transitioning. I mean, that's why I always say I hope everything is in divine order. Like when I see like a car wreck or police or you know, ambulance or fire department go, I hope everything in divine order. I'm not hoping for nobody to stay here. I'm not hoping for nobody to leave. May everything be in divine order. The person who needs to stay in the physical gonna stay. The people who need to leave gonna leave. But Miss Melissa, yes, it's new might. I should have a video because I got the if y'all not familiar, I got the Crystal Vibrations playlist where I got over 80 videos, including this one I'm doing right now. You know, and I think I have one on New Might, but New Might is a great crystal for amplifying your inner magic. Like New Might is good for working with the primordial essence of the subconscious, but that's all magic is. The magic is your magic to manifest things, and it comes from your subconscious. Like that's where the magic starts in your and your subconscious is that, you know, deep dark place, you know, that dark womb, you know what I'm saying, that dark feminine energy, you know what I'm saying, that allows, you know, the potential of physical manifestation, you know. But yeah, New Might is definitely great for the magic vibes. As a matter of fact, would be great in combination with Obsidian too. Naganeta, blessings. Vayuyama, blessings, blessings. Oh, got some amethyst on the way. All right, all right. Yep, amethyst is like that. Cause crystal quartz should be should have more of a, not to scare people away from it, but it should have more of a warning sign on it. I don't know, like crystal quartz amplifies, because malachite too. Matter of fact, speaking of that, which I done spoke to it in other videos, but malachite amplifies energies and non-discriminate towards amplifying energies. So it amplify negative energy or positive energy, and crystal quartz like that as well. So you got to be careful with working with those if you're not conscious or level-headed, you know, in your vibe. You know, you might want to be careful with those too. But yeah, amethyst is great for just raising the vibration in general. You know, getting to that crown, that first eye chakra. Schizoaffective and autism. Nothing's coming to me at the moment. If something pop up, I'll get back. Yeah, that galena. Galena is a rare crystal. Matter of fact, if y'all caught the video I did previously on galena, you know, it is very rare. Oh, a matter of fact, and I'm about to get into that aspect though, as I get back out of these comments. I have to finish off the info and get yeah, matter of fact, let me get to it again. So we're speaking on obsidian and malachite and how they help, you know, integrate the shadows, and that's, you know, that shaman energy, that transformational growth. That's what the transformational growth is. That really is what realizing that it's a balance of all these energies. You know, God is everything. God not just the feminine aspect. God not just the masculine aspect. You know, God is all. You know, again, like people get it twisted. Well, to each his own. Of course, I deal with my feminine energies of like being intuitive a little more than my logic, but doesn't mean I still have a healthy balance of of both within my my life in essence, within life, not my life. I don't own life. I am life. But and also to add to the fact of the as above so below aspect of where the way a crystal is made, in essence, like by nature, is also has to do with the energy it gives off. So say for instance, obsidian delivers a certain type of like it kind of in essence causes spiritual shock. Like it works on us in a little strong, little way. It's like very strong and effective, but like kind of like again back to that, that shock. Because in essence though, obsidian is made in this manner, like in a shock type of way. So say for instance, obsidian, is the magma flow, and then the magma flows into, this cool water. And as soon as it hit this cool water, it's like a shock. It's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And it causes a shock. As a matter of fact, that's why it's amorphous in essence, because it's no crystal structure, like it's just magma flow. And as soon as it hit the water, it's just like, oh, like freeze up. So it creates that same type of transformational shot. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get presented with having to face your shadows on a certain level, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like creates a certain type of little shock to your energy, to have to grow on that level. Now to kind of dive in directly back into malachite. Malachite is a copper stone, and copper deals with the energy of Venus. As a matter of fact, I got an older video speaking of how malachite is transforming to be more feminine, and in essence too, it is a stone for for the feminine. I say for the feminine energy, but it's a good midwife and crystal, good for women to help with menstrual cramps, stuff like that. And again, it has copper in it, and copper is associated with Venus. You know what I'm saying? Venus, the planet that associated with the love or the feminine energy. But just a few little things with copper. Copper helps kind of helps keep the pigmentation of the hair and the skin. As a matter of fact, copper is in I think it's the tyrosinase, dealing with your the melanosomes or the melanocytes. Copper is deeply connected to the melanin tissue. You know what I'm saying? So in another way too, why copper in essence is a good, or any copper-based crystals is good for us to connect and communicate with the ancestors. That's why turquoise is so common as as a crystal with the indigenous tribes, is because it's good for bringing down that information from the ancestors, from high self, and it's coming through that copper, because copper conducts electricity as well. Where do you see your angel numbers, your synchronized numbers? It moves through electrical objects. You know what I'm saying? Like you see it on your phone, on the microwave, on the this and that. You shouldn't be using that microwave like talking about at all, but but the ancestors in essence move through the electrical surges, and they move through us electrically. You know what I'm saying? So we got to have the copper up to par within our bodies. So on a diet level, making sure we consuming a nice amount of copper, weighing copper, like all that, allows for that electrical surge to move. And so reason why we're able to channel and be more in tune, say for instance, if we're dealing with copper, is because, being more conductive, being able to connect with the electricity. You've been able to connect with the electricity, you're able to communicate with the ancestors better. So a whole little vibe. Copper also promotes the development of the female sexual organs. Again, Venus energy. Is the catalyst for the formation of hemoglobin. Now, this is a as above so below aspect of like, so copper, which is a Venus aspect or a feminine aspect, is the catalyst for the formation of hemoglobin, which is iron or Mars or a masculine aspect. So in other words, the copper or the feminine aspect that precedes the masculine aspect is the catalyst for, you know, the formation of the mass. So basically, like, some feminine is the catalyst for this masculine aspect to be brought about, you know. And that's from anatomy, you know, from a biological anatomy level, but as above, so below. So if, you know, the energy of copper is helping, you know, the energy of iron on that level in the body, you know, is on all levels, you know what I'm saying? On some level, you know, Venus energy has some catalyzing energy to form Mars, you know, in some way, form or fashion, you know. And I'm just going off of the as above, so below aspect, you know. If that's the way it operates, in something on the macro, in the microcosm, then it would be like that in the macrocosm. And also, copper helps with dream activity and imagination. So that's another good thing, you know, dealing with the dreams and imagination. Matter of fact, that's also a line to deal with the ancestors and spirit guides in our dreams. You know, we'll go to dreaming that we, you know, back in Sirius, back in Andromeda, back in Lyra, back in the Palladian, back, you know, Ryan's belt, back wherever, you know what I'm saying, whatever little vibe you resonate with, you know. But the copper helps with that. As a matter of fact, our brain synapses deal with electricity. Copper is a conductor of that, so, you know, you're seeing the exact science of, you know, how these things correlate. And then just on the little side note, again, the little aspect of so how malachite and hematite, you know, is like the just to, how the aspects kind of just correlate. Copper to iron, you know, the relationship between copper and iron, you know, is very symbiotic in the body, you know, feminine, masculine, Venus, Mars. You see the connection. Let me get into some of these vibes. As a matter of fact, which you can't really see it that good, but since y'all probably seen it in other videos, though, the emerald and the ruby. But let's see. See what questions y'all got in here. That Snowflake Obsidian somewhat does the same. Snowflake Obsidian keys mostly in on dealing with repressed emotions. You know, definitely, I mean, in essence, because it is black obsidian, it carries somewhat of the same vibration. I just feel like when I'm working with Snowflake Obsidian, the aspect of coming across like my shadow self or my shadow aspects being shined to the light on a strong level, it's not there on that super strong level, you know, maybe subtly, but I just feel like I work with Snowflake Obsidian whenever I'm trying to get rid of like past thoughts, ideals, and ways of doing things that no longer serve me. Then that's when I work with Snowflake Obsidian. That's why I feel Snowflake Obsidian is good for. Site. Yes, you can, Stray Panther. That's a great question. Great question. Can you ask a crystal to share all of its attributes, qualities, magic, instead of requesting for just one or two specific attributes? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it goes all into your, this situation is only limited by your mind. Keep that in mind. Like, to be able to program a crystal and to open up certain qualities in a crystal, it is all limited by the limits that you place on it. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I wouldn't try to ask this emerald to vibrate on the same frequency as a petalite or phenakite. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you don't really want to, you know, because then that's when it's just kind of, like I say, the alchemy or whatever, kind of getting ridiculous to a certain extent. Like, well, you know, you might as well just manifest a phenakite or petalite if that's the case. But yeah, you can, you know, like, hey, Emerald, I want to amplify the vibrations of love and life within you today. You know, I want to amplify and boost the energies of, you know, that childlike zeal, that joyous energy, you know. And say, for instance, I've uh as much as like, so say for instance, some crystals where I don't remember the attributes, or you know, I'm I because I'm going with the flow intuitively, I know I got it for a reason to help me. I just tell the crystal, hey, just you know, vibrate at the frequency of your unique vibration. You know, because in essence, that's what the characteristics of a crystal is its own unique vibration. So I'm like, hey, just do you, be you. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, as simple as that sometimes. Not even always having to give out intention. Tiffany Jones, my Instagram, Epic Lifestyles, but which no jury up at the moment, but I will either over the weekend, or no later than Tuesday, or I should say Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. I'm definitely gonna have some jury. Yes, blessings, blessings. Yeah. I haven't worked with I haven't worked with Super 7 actually. I don't think I ever had a piece of Super 7. You know, most I came close to dealing with Super 7 is probably just holding it in my hand for a little while, so like that. But I never really, you know, had it. The closest but that felt like cause matter of fact, remembering, it was a different vibe. Cause I worked with Auralite 23 before, you know, or Auralite, is it Auralite 23 or 24? Look at me. You know, matter of fact, I can't remember if it's 23 or 24, but and which and I did a video on dealing with that, but like you could feel like the fullness of the vibration of Auralite, like because I know like the Super 7 is like, you know, 7 different minerals, but like the Auralite is like 23 or 24, you know, again can't remember, but it's like 23, 24 minerals of different elements inside of it, and you could feel it. Like I felt that my vibration was being raised, but I also could feel the grounding energy because it has a lot of little metals in it as well. Trill with love. What made me start on my spiritual journey? I already had, so I was born with it. You know, as a little kid, I was questioning, like as a little kid, picture being a little kid, probably like 5, you know, just from early, like wondering, like, all right, how do I come from my mom's stomach? Like, you know, how, like, where do my consciousness come from, and why am I me? Like, why my train of thought is not in my mom's body? You know, like I was that deep from just jump, so I would always be wondering about those aspects, and like, you know, how is it that I'm, you know, why am I here? Why my consciousness not on the other side, and why is it, you know, like, so I came down here. Matter of fact, my last lifetime, I probably was like this close from fully being awakened, you know what I'm saying? Because I hit the ground running in this one, you know what I'm saying? You know, my soul contract had a situation chose for me to kind of, you know, not have everything just laid out for me to have to work for it in essence, you know. But what was the true catalyst for just the strong spiritual awakening and growth was when my grandmother and my father transitioned, you know, and that kind of just brought me to a place of like on some, like, all right, God, what the fuck is going on here? You know, like like here it is that I'm in this Christ consciousness, because I never was really taught to be like overly loved. Like I always had a big heart, so here it is that I'm got this heart showing this love, and two, being taught that, you know, that I was showing love to a detriment. You know, like I gotta take care of myself and not just be no doormat. But after that situation, it just opened me to the vibe of like, questioning things stronger and really looking for an answer. Like I was like, all right, God, why am I here? Like, enough of this. Like, God dang, I've been on this plane for about 20 something years. It's time you give me an explanation for all this here. Basically, that's the whole vibe. Yeah, that's basically it. Matter of fact, I'm about to spark up my little victory herb. But again, just to bring the subject of the whole video back in full circle, the emerald and ruby, great combination. Matter of fact, emerald and ruby, and if you're really dealing with the love spell and attracting love and relationships, that lodestone. Don't forget that lodestone. That's very key. But no matter of fact, I just did a video on priorities, which it ain't dropped yet. I'm dropping that later. Yes, my family was very religious. My grandmother was the grandmother that went to church almost every day. Sat down and said her rosaries. In fact, indirectly, you could thank my grandmother and my dad for why I started making necklaces in essence, because they would deal with the rosary beads, and my dad made rosary beads. So that's why I got kind of into that vibe. But yeah, and then more of one side of my family, like the other side of my family wasn't overly religious. They had their little views, but they wasn't like, like with my grandmother, it was like church every day. They would have prayer meetings on Thursday at her house where all her and her little old friends get together, had their little prayer meetings, like that whole little vibe. So yeah, I was in the thick of that brainwashing vibe. Matter of fact, I'm from Louisiana, the city of Opelousas. Our Catholic church was Holy Ghost. That's the name of it. And I don't know if it was for the whole South or the Southeastern region, but our church had the biggest melanated or Black Roman Catholic congregation in the South. You know what I'm saying? Might still be like that. And what's funny, how intuition worked, I didn't need, so I knew something was up from a kid. I'm like, bro, I look around, I'm like, mostly melanated people's in Baptist churches or, some other type of vibe. And, the Catholic vibes, whether it's on TV or whatever, it was always like a European or white person, so I'm like, what's going on at this church? And then realizing too that Opelousas was just a big ass slave plantation. Because Opelousas also is a place where they killed like over 300 slaves during a little voting situation or something like that. Matter of fact, because picture when that little shooting in Orlando with the little at the gay club thing, that little situation, and people was like, oh, like basically playing pain game, like, oh, well, there was a bigger massacre over here, this type of little craziness, see, whatever. But somebody brought up that Opelousas thing, and that was my first time coming across that. Matter of fact, Jim Bowie from the Alamo used to live in Opelousas. So it's just, that's that vibe. And it's the old South. Matter of fact, there's still a law, like, matter of fact, what they call Napoleonic law, whatever. But like, Louisiana still got like old school ass laws and shit. Like, they still like, they won't do it, but I think it's still against the law to spit on the concrete or the sidewalk or in front of a woman. There's some type of little craziness like that, man. Is anything to hack somebody up? had to spark up. You know, Moses going to Catholic church, and then why? Yeah, man. Like from outside looking in, New York seemed like it's just nothing but the Catholic schools run by the mob and and by Vatican. Like matter of fact, the little Catholic schools and churches in little New York, that shit look like it's straight from like the pamphlet to them preachers, you know, some other stuff. All right, oh, shout out to NO Shannon Miller. All right. That NO, you heard me. My little brother. I see my little brother right there. Yeah. You see, it's about being yourself, you know. Like I could say, like, oh no, I don't want to let them see me smoking. I don't want to let them see me, you know, talking about my city or talking about, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, this is what I am. So what you gotta hide? That's why a lot of people be so surprised at how a person may be once they really come across them, because they present this persona, you know, the person or persona, the mask. Tiffany Jones, the direct link is right under most of my videos. So if you go to an older video and go under the little description thing, the link to my Epic Lifestyles page will be there. Thank you for the love and support, because I will have some jewelry coming soon. I saw something, that must be a video somebody just made about like the herb and Sirius or something like that. I felt like I seen that, I came across that. You know, but nah, I haven't read up on that, Tyler. Like I just, matter of fact, I just came across that video or whatever recently. Excuse me, y'all trying to read, you know. I love interacting with y'all, by the way. You know, much love. Yeah, all right. That's a good question, Value Yama. The difference between reading a person and judging a book by its cover is simple, you know. So the reading is more so like feeling the energy, like reading a person through energies, you know what I'm saying? And less through appearance, you know. The judging a book by a cover is just like looking at a person, you know, and just bam, you know. Matter of fact, I think about, like, I never was one to like, for sure I never was racist. I never was prejudiced. You know, never really judged. Like, of course, every now and then, like, that old Capricorn mind, little ego will kind of fall into a place of somewhat having judgments, but not on no malicious, like, you know, like, look at that person, or look, you know. But anyway, I think to one of my little strongest lessons, when I was working at a Finish Line in Baton Rouge at the Cartana Mall, and you know, this white guy walked in, and I said to myself, I was like, I'm pretty sure he not you know. So basically, a mind profile and judgment, like, he probably not looking for no J's or nothing like that, you know. I just coming to check things out, you know, just vibing. And then so my manager come up to me and like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Go talk to the president. Like, all right, you know what I'm saying? So as soon as I go talk to him, the first thing he running about, and again, if you looked at his appearance, bam, you lost the game. You know what I'm saying? But basically, when I walked up to him, he's like, bro, you know y'all got the new J's that's about to drop, man, the new sixes or whatever. You know how the Jordans got the numbers. He's like, you got the new Jordans, and I really like the folds, but man, when these came out, I'm talking about he just knew so much about, and I'm just like tickled, like, bro, I'm like, if I didn't keep it real, because that's another thing too, like I definitely always had that bluntness of like, where I probably told him like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, my brethren, I prejudge. I would have never thought you like Jordans like that. You know what I'm saying? Like having to keep it, real. But yeah, like judging the book by its cover, man, instead of just feeling the energy. And more so, that's not really nothing to do about feeling the energy. Just more so about the judging the book by its cover vibe. But yeah. That's so tight how this video done turned into all kind of information. See. But yeah. Don't want to be profiling people. That's why it's about getting in your heart, not in your thoughts. Your thoughts gonna have your false evidence appearing real. Your thoughts create all kind of situations before they happen or without them happening, and in essence creating all kinds of situations that could possibly happen because your thoughts create shit, you know what I'm saying? But matter of fact, ooh, that's deep, your thoughts create it all, you know what I'm saying? You're up there in it, so and so might be this, so and so, well, yeah, shit, if you keep being up there in your thoughts about that situation, then yeah, so and so gonna be whatever it is that you fearful of or whatever the situation is. Yeah, that's why it's about going in the heart. If you in your heart space, if you one with source, you don't have to worry about nothing, as far as like somebody dealing, back to me being without worrying about, needing a weapon, stuff like that. It's like, man, when you walking with that source, plus I done died in essence already, so it's like, it don't matter, look, take that knife and poke me. Come on, take your best poke. But because I think about when I had my DMT trip, and I was like, source, if you don't mind. Of course, on a human level, my mom and family going boo-hoo-hoo, all that type of stuff. I'm like, man, I definitely wouldn't mind staying where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't mind, Nah, fool. You're in your body for a reason. All right, word. So that's why I've been caught the omens too, that I knew I had to ground. And, as much as I wanted to be connected to that higher nature, and so fascinated by it, just the metaphysical aspect of our being, just how amazing our being is, I still knew I still gotta walk the dog and take out the trash, so to speak. The analogy of, do the human stuff. Still gotta walk the dog and take out the trash. But y'all, and Value Yama, blessings. Appreciate that donation. Just greatly appreciated. I forgot the name. Is it Dark Rainbow or Rainbow? Somebody asked about schizophrenia or something like. But lepidolite, I forgot about lepidolite would be pretty good for that vibe, like dealing with any of that, like mental or just disorders, or we call disorders or diseases in that area, you know, lepidolite, as a matter of fact, and it's good for anxiety. But I digress, y'all. Remember the combinations: obsidian and malachites. Got the ruby and emerald. And again, even though I call these, the great shamans, the malachite and obsidian, they all shamans, they're all teachers. We all shamans to each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, as much as I may be on a platform that's seen as teaching, I'm a constant student. I'm constantly learning, you know what I'm saying? And I could learn something from any and everybody, you know what I'm saying? Some way, form, or fashion. But that's basically it. And of course, if you appreciate the information and the videos and they resonate with you, all donations and any donations is greatly appreciated. Feel free to share the videos with family and friends if you feel it'll resonate with somebody yeah, all that good stuff. Yeah, man, definitely appreciate y'all love and support as always, man. It's definitely fam. I definitely feel the vibes from y'all. Remember, being authentic on our vibe, you know what I'm saying? Not being overly dark and all that. Say evil. Not being overly. It's that middle, that mid spot, balance. And for the most part, going about it, following your heart with all of your growth situation. That's why meditation, strengthen your own inner intuition, you know what I'm saying? And as you start to strengthen it, you know what I'm saying, you'll be able to, go with that flow and know that every step you take, your inner source got you, That's where it's at. Also, back to what we was talking about with reading people. It's like, it's your heart. Your heart has a torus field within itself, within our bigger torus field, it kind of has a torus field. And in essence, that's what makes a person that's sensitive to energy or empath, the empath, or, a person that's sensitive to energy. It's because they have a big torus field for the heart, and it reaches out far. I digress. Peace. Happy now. Now to vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now.